Welcome to our video regarding the structure of a nonprofit organization. Whether you're a new board member or joining an investment committee, learning the unique composition of a nonprofit is an important first step. Every nonprofit is different depending on size, scope, and mission, so don't assume that when you join a new board, it'll be similar to your previous experiences with other nonprofits. Every board member brings something different to the table. You may have been invited to join a board because of your professional background, past support of the mission, or your ability to make connections or introductions through your network. One thing all board members have in common is their fiduciary duties, which encompasses duty of care, duty of loyalty, and duty of obedience. In this video, we are going to focus more on duty of care, which is defined as being knowledgeable about the mission, provide strategic direction, and in some cases, overseeing management. It's good to know what kind of board you're joined because there's an important distinction. A governing board is legally responsible for overseeing an institution, while an advisory board provides counsel on opportunities and challenges facing an organization. Grasping the dynamics of a nonprofit structure is crucial for effective communication, collaboration, and efficiency. Working alongside the board is the executive director or the CEO. This leader oversees day-to-day operations, implements the board's directives, and serves as an important bridge between staff and the board. They ensure that their strategies align with the mission of the nonprofit in an effort to provide programs and services with the greatest possible impact. Supporting the executive director is a dedicated team of staff members. They are responsible for executing the nonprofit's programs, managing finances, and engaging with stakeholders. They work on the ground, implementing the initiatives that fulfill the mission and make a difference in the lives of those they serve. Of course, don't be fooled by the word nonprofit. How money flows in and out of a nonprofit is part of the fiduciary role of board members. Depending on size and scope, an organization may have a CFO, controller, or bookkeeper. These are important people to know, as well as the development director or advancement officer. They will provide you with important data to help you serve in your role. Again, depending on structure, many nonprofits have multiple finance committees. They can include budget and finance, audit and development, or fundraising and investments. Typically, in a board meeting, the Budget and Finance Committee will share the organization's assets, liabilities, and cash flow. Allocation of money to various departments are reflected in annual budgets that are reviewed and approved by the board. The Development Committee is not only responsible for fundraising, but also tasked with articulating which donations are restricted or unrestricted to the Budget and Finance Committee. These assets can be held in a foundation or an endowment, which can help nonprofits achieve their long-term sustainability and growth. Foundations have more structure regarding how money is managed or granted, whereas an endowment could provide a simpler structure. A true endowment holds assets from a donor who has specified how the income can be used, and the principal is held in perpetuity. Quasi-endowments or spend-down funds allow for annual gifts to come from both the income or the principal, which is also called the corpus. With a quasi-endowment, the nonprofit determines how to invest or use earnings rather than the donor. Let's shift gears now to the group that oversees how the money is managed, the Investment Committee. This group advises on financial investments and ensures the organization's financial health and resources are managed wisely, balancing risks with opportunities to support long-term sustainability. They carry out these goals by working with financial advisors or fund managers that align with the nonprofit's values and goals. Typically, this important committee begins by defining needs and goals, risk tolerance, and time horizon. Next, the group begins a search through recommendations, referrals, and requests for proposals or RFPs. Once they narrow down the search of candidates, they conduct further due diligence by evaluating investment philosophies, fees, and transparency and communication and reporting. They then move on to interviews before selecting a manager. Understanding these roles from the beginning is crucial. Let's take a look at how the structure comes together to achieve real impact. Let's take an example of a health-focused nonprofit. The board of directors identified a pressing need to address the high rates of diabetes in the local community. They set a strategic goal to launch a comprehensive community health program focused on diabetes prevention and management. The board approves the program's concept and allocates initial funding. The executive director takes the board's strategic goal and translates it into an actionable plan, She convenes a meeting with senior staff to outline the program's objectives, timeline, and resource needs. The executive director also works with the board to identify potential funding sources and partnerships. The staff begins detailed planning for the community health program. They conduct research to understand the community's needs, develop an educational material, and design workshops. The staff also establishes partnerships with healthcare providers and community centers to ensure the program reaches the target audience. Finally, the investment committee reviews the nonprofit's financial assets to determine how to allocate funds to support the new program without jeopardizing the organization's financial stability. They decide to use a portion of the endowment income and recommend a reallocation of some investments to ensure liquidity for program expenses. This example illustrates how the board of directors, executive director, staff, committees, volunteers, and the investment committee within a nonprofit work together to achieve a common goal. Their coordinated efforts ensure that the program is well funded, effectively managed, and capable of making a significant positive impact on the community. By working together, board members, staff, and committees create meaningful change and transform lives. Many nonprofits have a board orientation and provide a board handbook. Take the time to engage in these resources that staff has created for you. They will ease your transition on the board and make your onboarding process more efficient and effective. Serving on a board is a privilege, and it provides a great opportunity to foster personal and professional relationships. But at the heart of your work is your fiduciary responsibility. When everyone knows their responsibilities and how they fit into the bigger picture, the organization runs more smoothly. It ensures accountability, helps track progress, and addresses issues promptly. Finally, understanding the structure of a nonprofit fosters a shared sense of purpose. Knowing how each role contributes to the mission can be incredibly motivating for everyone involved.